Hey there, and welcome to our 4-4 notes, relations as equations. And today we're going to look at this second learning target. So we're going to look at the one that says graphing. I can graph a solution set for a given domain. So just a real quick refresher of what we did last time. We learned that we have the two variables in our equations, x and y, and we can substitute order pairs into those equations. Today we're going to look at graphing. We're still going to be looking at making tables and substitution, but it's going to look a little bit different. Alrighty, this is the next example in our notes. We have solve b equals a plus 5 if the domain, remember we talked about that last time, domain's just your x values, is -3, -1, 0, 2, 4. So if you notice, we have our table set up like last time, but this time we're going to organize it a little bit different. Because rather than give me a whole order pair, it only gives me the x values. So first thing we're going to do over here is put our x values. Now I know what you're saying, Miss Bowen, this equation doesn't have an x or a y, so it looks super goofy. It does, but we always go back to alphabetical order when it comes to our variables. So x comes before y in the alphabet, so it does in the order pair. So down here, A comes before B in the alphabet, so A comes first, then B comes second. So A is going to be like our x, and B is going to be our y. So for this one, basically they've given us our A values. But for us, where it gives us our first set of values, we're going to put A here. We're going to put our equation b equals a plus 5 in the middle. So that's the same as last time. But this time we're going to solve for b. And then we're going to write our order pair as AB. So even though this one gives us AB, we still kind of treat it the same way we would x and y. It's just all substitution. So my first domain it gives me is -3. So -3. So remember, we're going to solve for b, so we write b equals, a is -3 plus 5. And this time, remember, we're going to solve for b, so we're going to say b equals, -3 plus 5 is 2. So b is 2. And now when we go to write the order pair, a is -3, b is 2. There we go. And we move on to our next one. So we'll do a color change. And we got -1. -1. So once again, we had b equals. So it still says b equals. A is now A is -1. -1 plus 5. And -1 plus 5 is 4. So b equals 4. So b is 4. So when we go to write our order pair, A comes first, so -1. And then B comes second, 4. And we just keep moving along. So now we'll do 0. 0 is always one of my favorite ones to work with. So B equals, and we have A again, so A is 0 plus 5. And then B equals 0 plus 5 is 5. So B is 5. And our order pair now is going to be A is 0, B is 5. So 0, 5. Alrighty, our next one is 2. 2. And now we got B equals, once again, it starts off with A. A is 2 plus 5. 2 plus 5 is 7, so B equals 7. So B is 7, and our order pair is going to be 2, 7. And now for our last one, 4. Oh, moved the wrong thing. There we go. 4. So it starts off with B equals, then A is 4 plus 5. Now 4 plus 5 is 9. So our B value is 9, and our order pair is going to be 4, 9. There we go. So we took a set of domain and we plugged it. So they gave us this set of domain, our A values or our X values. and then we solved it for b, and then we take those two values and we write them like an ordered pair. Now for this next example, we're actually going to take these ordered pairs and graph them. So this is how our tables look today. We're just going to take a second and we'll move on to our next example. There we go. So this time we're asked to solve 4x plus 2y equals 10 if the domain is -1, 0, 2, 4, and this time we're asked to graph the solution set. So the first thing we want to do is take our equation here, 4x plus 2y equals 10, and we're going to rewrite it out to the side here. We're going to solve it for y. So we got 4x plus 2y equals 10. And now remember, we always want to solve for that y value because we're going to plug it in to find what y is. We're going to keep our 2y equals 10. Now our positive 4x goes over there to become a minus 4x. So we're going to solve an equation to start with. And now 2 and y are side by side, which means they are being multiplied. So now we're going to do the opposite and divide everybody up here by that 2. So 2's cancel, and y equals 10 divided by 2 is 5. -4 divided by 2 is -2, and the x stays with it. And this is the equation we use in the table, because once again we want to solve for our y values because it gives us the domain, which is our x values. We'll slide the table over here a little bit, and we'll start off with our x value. And now we write our equation here, y equals 5 minus 2x. Remember, we want to solve for y, and then we write our ordered pair as xy. There we go. And our first domain it gives us, our first x value we're going to solve for is -1. So once again, we're going to solve for y, so we keep y equals 5 minus, now that's 2 times x, so that'll be -2 times x is -1. So now remember, we talked about this last time, we're going to use order of operations, so PEMDAS, which means we have to multiply before I can add or subtract. And we have to always use that sign in front. So if you notice, I corrected myself and said -2 times -1, because we have to remember -2 times -1 will make a +2. So negative times a negative makes a positive, so watch out for those signs. And then we get y equals 5 plus 2 is 7. So y is 7. So we go to write our ordered pair. We have x is -1, y is 7. All right, now off to the next one. Where's 0? 0. Once again, that's our x value. So we're going to solve for y. So we drop down our y equals 5 minus -2 times x. -2 times x is now 0. So I love 0 because 2 times 0 is going to cancel out. And we're just going to be left with 5. So y equals 5. You could put 5 minus 0, but 5 minus 0 is still going to give you 5. So we don't have to show that 0 anymore. So 5. Now our ordered pair is going to be 0, 5. We keep moving. So next one, we'll do purple. So we got 2, 2. Once again, that's our x value. So we're going to solve for y. So we keep our y equals 5 minus, and that's 2 times x. So it'll be -2 times 2. So replace our x with our 2. And y equals 5, and -2 times 2 is -4. And 5 minus 4 is 1. So our y value is 1, and our ordered pair is going to be 2, 1. All right, last one is 4. 4. Once again, it's our x value, so we're going to drop down our y equals 5 minus 2 times our x is now 4. There we go, we get y equals Negative 2 times 4 will give me negative 8, so 5 minus 8. Now lastly, 5 minus 8 is negative 3. So our y value is negative 3. And now we write our order pair as 4, negative 3. This one looks like I also made us an extra spot on the table. That's okay. But now we have these 4 order pairs here. We have our negative 1, 7, 0, 5, 2, 1, and 4, negative 3 that we found our y values given our x values in our table. So now we can come to our graph paper and just graph these order pairs. So negative 1, 7 sends me left 1 and up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it sends me to the tippy top. Let me change this to red, make it a little bit easier to see. So negative 1, 7. All right, the next one is 0, 5. So x is 0, so that's the origin. Then y is 5, which means it sends me up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our next one is 2, 1. So that sends me right 2, 1, 2, up 1. And 4, negative 3. So 4 sends me right 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then down negative 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And if you can tell, these order pairs here make a line. So if you kind of see like they're all in that straight line area here. As far as it goes, all the ones we see today will make lines too. So you know you've kind of done it correctly if you have that line there. I'm trying to figure out where my line is. That way I don't mess this up when I go to draw it. So hopefully you can use a straight edge. Oh, that is not the line I wanted. Let's try that again. Maybe if I use this guy. Oh, it created a dot out there for some reason. Try this again. Oh, that didn't work. Line one more time. Line. Well, that's not working. We'll try something else later. I'm just going to freehand it and we'll see how well it goes. There we go. Arrows on each end to show it's continuous. And there we're good. Thank you so much. That finishes up our notes.